I became what they called the mystery patient. And I remember my mom and dad, every time I go to the doctor, they'd be like, well, what'd they say? They don't know. They don't know what's wrong with me. And that happened for 2 years. And in those 2 years, I went from pain in one side of my body, fatigue and fevers, to 22 different locations. I had a fever that wouldn't break for 4.5 weeks, and I was sleeping for 16 hours a day. And then finally, I went in thinking I had an ear infection that the doctor pushed on it, said, that's your jaw joint. Well, actually, he pushed on it, and I actually attacked him a little bit. I didn't mean to, but it really hurt. So I jumped forward, and he said, you need to see a different rheumatologist. I had already been to a rheumatologist who told me, I want to watch you get worse because I cannot tell what it is that you have. You have what's called undifferentiated connective tissue disease, or we don't know exactly what it is yet, and refused to put me on any medication. And that's how bad I ended up getting. And as a result, I met a wonderful rheumatologist. He diagnosed me with rheumatoid arthritis within just the first doctor's visit. But then we realized none of my blood work was positive for anything. I didn't have any radiographic damage, and he still believed me. And I just want to make that really clear for anybody, when you're taking this information away tonight, if you talk to anybody who's experiencing pain in their joints, if they have fatigue, if low-grade fevers, any type of like flu-like symptoms, it's that arthritic component that really connects it. Because autoimmune diseases, there's over 100 of them, and they all have the fatigue. They all have these commonalities, but it's the arthritis that makes them differentiate. Right. And if anything, you can recommend that they go and talk to a rheumatologist. And the other thing is, unfortunately, not all know, but you don't have to have positive blood work in a lot of these situations in order to be diagnosed. I know my mom, this has kind of been a co-host on this talk show without ever being on it, but I've mentioned her at least 15 times. At least. I think on the show, so she's kind of a celebrity. And what ended up happening was I did get re-diagnosed in 2013 with, it's called non-radiographic axial spondyloarthritis. Well, so you add that to my name, plus the name of our organization. Yeah. It takes 5 minutes for me to introduce myself. But in saying that, it was a new diagnosis. It's something that really only came to the United States in 2013, and that's why I wasn't misdiagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. That's what was defaulted, and I still got on medication, but at that time I was unable to get out of bed. The medication I was on was not indicated for our diseases. I would have to walk in the morning with my pelvis like hunched forward on my tippy toes. It was so hot. So attractive. But finally I was put on the right treatment, and that treatment really changed my life and put me back on track.